back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86-02 animation accurate version of Autobot Cup. A very nice character in the film and very iconic in that 1986 film. And I'm so glad that I picked up this animation accurate version, which was so much better than the original one that I purchased. Now, this one does have its flaws, and so does the other one, but we'll touch base later. So in this video, we're going to review this figure. We're going to take a look at the box art. We're going to take a look at the backdrop, the differences between this version and the previous version. We're going to take a look at the articulation, transformation, comparisons, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's get started with the box. So here we have Cup's box. Now, Cup's box differs from many other Studio Series boxes, as this is from the Buzzworthy line. Here is the original Cup box, and we can see there are multiple differences, mostly just the Buzzworthy art and everything. But one striking difference is that they have two different scenes. This one is based on the Autobot city, while this one is where he gets torn apart by a giant squid in the film, and Hot Rod fixes him later on. If we take a look at the back of the backdrop, they have the same thing, so we'll just focus on this one real quick. He transforms in 21 steps from a robot to pickup truck mode, and his little bio says, as the Insecticons munch through Autobot City, Cup speeds inside, rolling over Kickback in the process. So we have Legacy Kickback already in stores, so I will try to find that figure and pick him up as soon as possible. So we could maybe make a stop motion and recreate that scene, or like it'll look cool. And on this side of the packaging, it's the same artwork that we previously got for the original Studio Series box. Now, for the original Studio Series box, it said Cup struggles to free himself from the tentacles of a giant squid. So basically, Hasbro has re-released this figure. Instead of giving it an 86 other number, they gave it 86-02 and re-released it in Buzzworthy Bumblebee. And mostly the striking difference is because this one is animation accuracy, while this one wasn't. And why I say animation accuracy is because it is. Now, bringing this figure into the screen, we can see how much detail packed is on this figure. We can see on the chest region, we can see that he does have like these kind of scratches. As we know, Cup was a really old Autobot in that movie, so we can see like maybe he looks older here. He has some scratches. He looks like he's been through a lot. There's some nice detailing right here on the arms, on the chest. We can see the nice Autobot logo right here. We can see some nice details right here on the waist region and the thigh region as well. We can see some nice details right here, the Autobot logo right there. Some nice details right here. The treads look really nice. It's from a side profile. It looks really cool. Has barely any kibble whatsoever. So basically, if you own the previous version, or if you own this version, or both, it's exactly the same. The only difference is just the paint. So speaking of the same, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now here is the previous one. Now whichever you prefer is your personal preference, but I personally prefer the Buzzworthy version because how he looks more of a cartoon character than this one. This one looks more like a War for Cybertron character. Now bringing them in for a closer look, we can see they are identical. They look the same. Now two differences is that this one has the animation accuracy but they did not put the glowy eyes that this one has. So on the back of this one's head is a transparent piece of plastic that makes his eyes glow. So I will put my finger in the back, and we can see they appear dead, alive, dead, alive. So the only downside for this figure, it doesn't have that gimmick that this one had. And we can see that the original figure right here has begun to yellow slightly. So I'm not so sure if you could really see it much. The light is really getting crazy right now. But this figure is slowly starting to yellow, while this one is newer, more squeaky out of the box, and it lasts a little longer. Personally, I like this one more than this one. I do have two shelves, one for the 1986 and one for other little Autobot shelf. So I put this one in the other Autobot shelf, and I put this one in the 1986 shelf. So yeah, if it comes to personal preference, I personally decided this one. Whatever you prefer, it's all up to you. Now let's see how Cup scales with other Transformer figures. Here I brought in the Siege the Earthrise / Kingdom Optimus Prime, the current Optimus Prime, soon to be replaced by the Commander class later this year. So I brought in this figure. We can see a Voyager to a deluxe size. I'm pretty sure this is accurate. Here we have Blaster, Ironhide, Ratchet, Hot Rod, the main character of the 1986 film, 1986 RC, which will probably be the next review after this one. And finally, Autobot Blur. So here is the backdrop. The backdrop is very different, as I said before. Instead of being the squid attack, it's the Autobot city being attacked by the Decepticons. And just to compare both backdrops here, I brought in the original and the newer one. And however, which one you ever you prefer is up to you. I personally like how this figure looks, but I do like this background more. I do like it. This background was the same one that we got for Blur, Ultra Magnus, I believe RC, and Perceptor. Well, this one was unique to this character specific scene, and I do like the uniqueness that this one did have. So yeah, that was this guy's backdrop. Now, as far as articulation is concerned, he is fairly articulated. He has I believe he has kind of like a ball joint on his head. He can look up, down, tilt side to side, look left and right. I believe it's a ball joint. He has a hinge joint right here. He has a port here, mostly designed from the original figure to dismember him, put blast effects inside, and make it look like he's exploding internally and dying of the squid. He has a past 90-degree bend here at the elbow, kind of a ratchet joint. He does not have any wrist rotation, unfortunately. Kind of a missed opportunity. Um, he does not. Oh, he does have wrist rotation here. He has another port thing right here, mostly to make him suffer. And right here on the leg, he has a hinge joint. He could go back to that far, front to the far, do the splits, side to side. He can rotate this because it's on a port. He has 360 range of motion. He has around 90 degree bend at the knee. He has an ankle rocker joint and a toe pivot. So yeah, as far as articulation, this figure is very articulated. He does come with two accessories, being the same blaster that we did see previously before, and just to showcase it for a closer look, here it is. Looks the same as the original one did, and he does have this little energon canister that was important in the film. Don't worry, it fell. I have another one that was important in the film and had like befriended the Junkions in that one scene where they joined forces to stop Unicron toward the end of the film. So yeah, he does come with those two accessories, so nothing major. Now let's take a look at the transformation. Now the transformation is quite simple yet slightly difficult. The first thing you're gonna have to do is rotate the head right here, and then you're gonna open the oops. So yeah, one problem on this copy for some reason is that it this port the ports are extremely loose for mine. So you're gonna raise the arms right here. You're gonna disengage this region right here, protected by two little tabs. Then you're gonna rotate to the back, unveil this, rotate the wheels outward. And I do like that these new wheels are a gray and not black like the original one. You're gonna tuck the head in, tuck the whole body like this. Gonna cover this region right here, and then after that, now that we have done that, you're gonna make sure that this piece right here, it is on like this like sort of spinny thing. Not so sure what to call it, but you just rotate it down like this. Rotate it down. It could rotate up but for transformation, it is supposed to go down. So it's kind of hard to do. Just bear with me just for a few seconds. Yeah, for some reason it just won't bend. So yeah, if it's easier, over there, it bends down. So if it's easier to remove the arm so you can bend it, do so. And if this happens, it'll happen. The whole shoulder will collapse off, and it'll be kind of hard to put back in. So after reconnecting the arm right here, you're just gonna close these right here, and you're gonna rotate these so that the wrists are facing each other. With that, I'm sorry, with there, you're gonna rotate it like this, so that the hollow place is facing upward, and then you're gonna focus your attention toward the legs. You're gonna tuck the toes in. You're gonna lift this panel right here toward the knee. Lift them, and then you're gonna notice that these pieces right here are on this like weird things. So there is like a little slot right here, and there's a tab right here. What you're gonna do is just move this slightly, and then close this right here, so that this falls into that tab, and then this one as well will fall into that tab to make that square look for the truck. So yeah, we could clearly see how the truck is gonna form, how the body is forming. So yeah, this figure is honestly a pain. And after I reattached it, I spent like a minute trying to reattach it. So after you've done that, move the legs up, you're gonna attach these two pieces right here. You're gonna put this panel right there and this panel as well. So just gonna make sure it falls into this place, falls into that one. And then the wrist, I do like their unique transformation that they do in fact peg onto to some little this little port right here. You have to make sure it pegs right there. This one as well. Just make sure it goes inside there. So you're gonna have to rotate the wrist for that. Rotate the wrist, click it inside. This one fell. You're gonna do the same process, click that inside. And just some final touches, click everything into place. And there, now we have Cup fully transformed into that really cool Cybertronian pickup truck form. Now, in the Transformers 86 movie, the movie took place in 2005 while the movie was made in 2000. I'm sorry, in 1986, and they thought trucks would look like this in the future, and they don't. They look like trucks. They don't look anything like this. So, I brought in this cup so we can see the difference. Mostly the difference is in the windshield area. This one has that animation accurate, and this one we could see like what's inside cup. Right here as well for this panel. This panel is a light blue, kind of yellowing already, and this one is a dark blue. So, however your personal preferences, I prefer this one, the vehicle form. Kind of, I just kind of like how it looks like, but as far as figure wise, I prefer this one. So yeah, this is how the figures scale. They're exactly the same. So if you wanted two cups roaming around, or just like a little generic Autobot in the background, go for it. And I do recommend it. I got this figure for $7.99 at Ross. Um, so when I bought Buzzsaw, Sandstorm, Night Prowler, and Shadow, what's his name? Shadow Striker. I forgot, but Shadow Strip. So once I got those figures, I got this one as well because I was like, why not? And it does complete my collection. It makes my collection look more complete, and it makes it look really more nice. So, some final thoughts for this figure. I do recommend him if you can find him. You can't really find him online anymore. You can, but you're gonna pay $20 when you can literally go to a Ross and you can find him there for $7.99. So tell me what you thought of this figure. Will you pick him up? Did you pick him up? As this figure is already like around maybe 3 years old. And until my next review, I will see you then. Thank you for watching.